So our sitting president, President Trump, has been in office for close to 2 months. And I think there's been a lot of mixed feelings within these 2 months about his presidency. Um, there are people that are questioning what our president is doing, and there are people that are also loving what our president is also doing. Um, so today, we are going to be discussing, the policies that he's been making. Like, how are we feeling as a country? If is the United States moving in the right direction? Are we moving in a direction that is going to be scary? And then listen, this is my opinion. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. This is mine. This is how I feel, right? Let me get right into it. I am gonna say this. He's doing what he said he's gonna do. When you go back and look at his campaign, a lot of the things that he's tackling, he's doing those. So, as a man of integrity, that alone he passes. He gets a 70%. A lot of presidents have come into play, and then they have a different campaign policy. They share a different story to get the votes, and then they get into the government, and then all of a sudden they have different issues, right? They act different. Um, but you look at Trump within this last month. Truthfully, he's acting on the same thing, everything he's been saying. Yes, it might come as a surprise, but from cutting down the federal government, immigration, I think we might not agree with it. We all might not agree with what he's doing, but like I said, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. I look for the interests of what is best for the country at the moment. And right now, I'm going to go through some of the things that he's been doing, and we are going to tackle those. So, his first thing is immigration. He during his campaign, he said he was going to send back criminals that didn't belong in the country back to their bases. Like Colombia, the South American countries that have been letting the gangs into the United States of America. And truthfully, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. He's wrapping up the Africans, he's sending them back home. If you have a crime, if you're a criminal, I mean, I think that's the right way forward. You know, every country deserves to tighten up their immigration. If I don't know why everybody gets so mad at President Trump for tackling immigration. I think immigration should be the first thing that every president should tackle. I'll put it this way. You know, there are certain countries that when you go in, right, it's even hard for you to become a citizen. Like the UK, the Saudi Arabians, you have to be a citizen. You can only become a citizen through birth. So I truly don't get when people are getting on President Trump for for his immigration policies. Certain things are common sense, and I truly believe that every country should prioritize immigration first. Every country should prioritize immigration first. You know, you, you go back into 15 years, the United States wasn't the same as it was now. I think we have let everybody from everywhere come into the United States, and slowly we were declining. And now you have rural Americans that are not benefiting of their tax dollars. You have veterans coming home, and we are using our tax dollars on different people, right? Instead of the American people. So, you know, I'll put it this way: you go to Colombia, and it's like they are opening up the bad guys to come to the United States, and they are not doing it legally. You know, if you come to the country legally, that's fine. You know, but if you are doing it illegally, then I think he's right on that. So yes, when it comes to immigration, I think I agree with what Trump is doing. Americans first. They should always be put first. Um, I've been blessed to be from the dual citizen from another country, and look, if you go around the world, everybody puts their people first. You know, so I truly, truly agree with President Trump on the immigration issue. Um, it, you know, there's another policy that you know that you know he's doing a lot of things right. You know, it goes another thing that he's working on is ending the birthright citizenship, right? The birthright citizenship. I mean, I have never agreed with that. You know, I have never agreed with the fact that you know, look, I've been blessed to live on the other side of the continent, right? And you have the top 1% from every single country. They wait till 2, 3 weeks before, you know, their wives are getting ready to give birth, you know, and they fly them all the way to the United States so they can give birth in our hospitals and use our taxpayers' dollars. And this issue is very touchy. You know, if you haven't really lived outside the United States, what I'm saying is it can be very confusing. But if you live in the United States, you realize all the top 1%, they wait till their wives are getting ready to give birth, and then they bring them to the United States, and they give birth here, and they get citizenship while they never live in this country. You know, so another thing that Trump is doing that I agree with is the birthright citizenship. I truly, truly believe the birthright citizenship should be ended. It should be ended. You know, someone asked me, how does it affect me? You know, like I wanted to be in Ghana and send my wife here in case she was pregnant, right? But it's it's it's, it's not lawful, right? Like it's not right. To be able to do that stuff, you should be in this country. You should be able to pay into the taxpayers' dollars. But you have so many people from around the world, the top 1%, right? They bring their wives here, they get the citizenship, and they take their kids back. So if Trump says he's ending the birthright citizenship, that I agree with. You know, you'll be forcing the top 1% of other countries to develop their countries. You know, this is a very broad issue. It's a very, very big issue. I actually believe in ending the birthright citizenships because that way you are forcing the top 1% in Nigeria, Ghana, Morocco, Singapore, Dubai. They will be forced to stay in their countries, and they will be forced to develop their own countries. So, hey, kudos to Trump. Kudos to Trump for that, for ending the birthright citizenship. You know, there's also the, you know, Department of Government Efficiency, right? You know, now he's cutting people's jobs. And I'm going to say this. It's very sad that the USAID is losing their jobs. You know, people that have been working there for a very long time. And I don't like that Elon Musk is going around with a chainsaw, you know, making it seem like it's fun to cut people's jobs, right? But the Department of Government Efficiency, I think, for now, I think from the research that we found out so far, I think they are doing a great job. Why? Why? Because why should 4.9 million people be on Social Security who are above the ages of 140? So all these years, there's me people that's been getting paid on Social Security that are above the ages of 140 years old, 150 years old, 160 years old.
I mean, come on, how many of those are still alive? So that is one of the efficiencies of the Department of Government Efficiency, right? Now they are trying to look into why are there 4.9 million people on Social Security that are above the ages of 140. The only person that I know is the oldest person in the United States should be 123. So why are there 4.9 million people on Social Security? Which means someone is funneling money somewhere. And I'm excited. I'm excited for the Department of Government Efficiency to find out where these payments are going. So these things are common sense. I just gave you an example of why the Department of Government Efficiency is doing well. Allegedly, they have already saved 55 billion, right, for the country. They have allegedly saved 55 billion for the country, and even besides that, you know, the DC housing market was very expensive. You got people with two, three, four, five houses, and now it's like you go to DC and people are putting their houses for sale because guess what? They are scared. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it leads me to this question: were people stealing money from the government and buying two, three homes? Now that they know that Trump is in office, he's going to crash the market. So now they are selling their homes. But I like it because now the millennials can start their lives. These houses were hiked up to like 1 million, 2 million. If you're a millennial, you're excited because you want this to crash. So the houses can come back down, right? So look, 4 months ago, I didn't agree with the Department of Government Efficiency. I wanted to see what they were going to be doing. And but so far so good. I just gave you an example. Why should United States be sending $59 million in condoms to Monrovia? Why should we be sending 29 million for India for voter turnout? Why should we be sending $30 million to a non-profit organization in somewhere in you know Kurdistan? Why is Americans hardworking taxpayers dollars going everywhere but America, right? So you sit and think about these stuff and you're like, maybe these guys are right. The amount of money why are we sending money to Nigeria? And yes, don't get me wrong, I know someone is going to say, oh, they need it. Look, I've lived in a third world country. The money only stays with the top 1%. The third class don't see the money. The 1% squanders the money, and then they come back to the United States and they beg for more because we keep giving. Now, if we cut that out, right, they'll be forced to make sure that they are spending the money correctly. So that also, I agree with the Department of Government Efficiencies. Cut the money out. Stop sending money to people. Treat American homeless. Because I know Ghana received 4.5 billion in IMF money. But guess what? They are still back around the world trying to borrow money. And the third class didn't see the money in Ghana. So in that way, I agree with President Trump. Cut it out. Why should India be receiving $29 million from America for voter turnout? Shouldn't the Ambanis and them be doing that for them? They're already rich people in there. Like, why should America be responsible for that? Man, like I said, most of these things that they are doing is common sense. You can hate the guy, but a lot of the things that he's doing truly is common sense. And so far, I think I'm agreeing with a lot of his decisions. I'm agreeing with a lot of his decisions. And I think white voters are shocked. I think one of the aspects of this whole thing is a lot of white voters are shocked because I think they thought it was going to be, Trump is back. make America great again. Proud white people are back in the front. Minorities to the back. But one thing I love about Trump is he really doesn't care about nobody. He's just working. He just loved this country and he's working. So far, what I know is he doesn't care if you're white, black. If you need to be cut for the government to be efficient, you'll be cut. And I think a lot of white folks voted on the decision that, oh, Trump is for us. But so far, what I'm seeing is Trump is just for himself. I'm seeing a lot of executive business decisions. I can say that's wrong. I can say that's wrong. So far, all the decisions he's making, I'm not seeing anything discriminatory. I think he's just working for the American people. He doesn't care if you're black, white. He just wants the government to be efficient. Now, that led me to another. It led me to another conversation I was having with someone today. I don't know where this 4 years is gonna go, but I truly believe businessmen should be running as presidents now, not just in America, but around the world. I think overall this 4 years is a little bit shaky, but it's gonna turn out great. Because I have always felt like businessmen should be running the world as presidents, right? Because they have failed before. I mean, Trump has failed before. Like, he knows how to bring businesses in America. The businessman knows how to create businesses. I'm a businessman. I know how to bring value. Like, the reason why we've been suffering for so long as a country is because for so long, you have these kids come out of college and then they go straight into politics. They have never had to run a business. Like, look at the countries like Saudi Arabia, Sheikh Mohammed, MBS. Look at all the countries that the businessmen are controlling. They are doing amazing. So, talking about this stuff, I'm also leaning towards the fact that countries should let businessmen run as their presidents. And I think, I don't like the guy, but businessmen, we can sit and have honest conversations. I can sit with Trump and have common sense conversations. I don't know him, he don't know me, but as businessmen, we respect certain aspects. And I truly think this next 4 years, he's gonna make some decisions. I think the last 10 years we've been very loose. A lot of countries are taking over us, not respecting us. This is where you need a businessman, like a cutthroat guy, and I think he's the right man for the job. This next 4 years, America is gonna be great again. America is gonna be great again. Now. I think I have talked more about his positives, right? I have talked more about his positives. I think we've talked about the birthright. We've talked about Social Security. How they have saved 55 billion already with the Department of Government Efficiency. I think we talked about the DC housing. Millennials being able to buy homes now because the market looks like it's crashing. And now, if you're a millennial, I'm actually telling you, wait till 2 more years. Wait till Trump crashes the whole market. Because, the pricing was so spiked up that young people like us weren't able to start our lives. So give it a year if you're a millennial. Let it crash so you can buy homes. I'm happy when it comes to that with Trump. The negatives, though. The negatives. Let's go to the negatives so far of Trump. I think so far one negative I've seen, right, is how they treated Zelensky. If you watch the meeting on Friday, It was distasteful. And if I'm first of all, I want to take the time to congratulate Zelensky for the way President Zelensky for the way he conducted himself. That was a sign of a true leader. Now, you know, I don't understand why they want the guy to take a deal when his country has been invaded. And I want him to know that we're all standing behind him, because his country got invaded, but they are letting Putin play the victim. So Trump is scared of Putin. Now. This is where it gets tricky. This is where it gets tricky. They want the guy to take the fall when his country was invaded. They want him to sign the deal. So we talked about the positivity of Trump, but now we are going to be discussing some of the weaknesses as well. It looks like Trump is scared of Vladimir Putin. And I think a lot of people, I've been hearing people say that, but it's really true. If you watched the interview last Friday, I'm pretty sure they couldn't have the same conversation with Vladimir Putin. They couldn't even get close to Vladimir Putin to have that kind of conversation. J.D. Vance was being so distasteful, so disrespectful to Zelensky, But overall, I'm glad that the guy held up. I'm glad he didn't take the deal. I'm glad he stood up for his people. And I've been seeing other world leaders like Poland, England, supporting him. And even as an American, I'm saying he shouldn't take any deal. He shouldn't take any deal. Because Trump is exhibiting signs of weakness. He's scared to go talk to Vladimir Putin. I want to see him and J.D. Vance have the same conversation with Vladimir Putin. Then I can make my final decision. Because the way they treated the guy, all the way to them asking him, oh, does he not own a suit? How disrespectful can they be, right? How disrespectful can they be? So Zelensky, I think we're all behind you. Hold your ground. Do not sign any deal that's not going to benefit your people. Another thing is, where is Congress? Where is Congress? It seems like Congress is very quiet and they are watching President Trump makes a lot of decisions very quickly. I think they don't know. It's funny because it seems like the Republican Party, everyone is scared of the guy. Like he's literally making whatever decisions he wants to make. Although some have been positive, like we started in the beginning. But it's like Congress is very quiet. He's fired about 200,000, right? Federal government workers. I mean, where's Congress? I'm hearing nothing from Congress. So that's another negative. That's another negative. The fact that if you look closely to what's been happening, it's almost like he's exhibiting signs of dictatorship. And another thing that I'm not liking is the way Elon Musk is running behind this guy. It's like we are letting two business. Basically, they are telling us that if you get rich enough now, you can run a society. Because Elon Musk is making so much decisions for us. And he's not an elected official. But he's holding so much power over people, right? I do understand the Department of Government Efficiency, but he's almost acting like the president. Walking in the Oval Office with his shirt on, with his hat on, just speaking the way and I'm pretty sure he's gearing up to get a lot of contracts from the government. So that is a negative. That is a negative. I first started from the guy being from South Africa. Yes, he is from South Africa. They made their money of minerals, right? So I don't like that Elon Musk and this guy are running around like he's the president of the United States. It's going against. They're exhibiting signs of what is being shown in some of these African countries. Rich folks making decisions. So that is a negative. That I'm not liking. I'm not liking. The fact that it seems like Elon Musk is doing whatever he wants. He needs to show some sign of respect. The chainsaw that he's bringing on stage when you're cutting people's livelihood is disrespectful, man. You gotta have some dignity. You gotta have some dignity. Um, I think I had one more thing I wanted to discuss. You know, I think overall, I think so far it's too early to tell. Um, but I think Trump might need better advisors around him. If someone asks me what does he need, I think I would say that he need better advisors around him. Truly, he need better advisors around him. They are making decisions too quick. Some of them have been positive. Um, but I think you want to get it right. You want to get it right. You want to get it right. It's been only been close to 2 months since he took office, and you don't want to go at that speed. You want to make sure every decision you're making is coming out right. Because I stated Department of Government Efficiency say 55 billion, but according to sources, they are showing that they only recoup 500,000 US dollars. So people are saying they are reporting not different numbers, but they are showing actual different numbers as well. So I think Trump doesn't care really because it's his last term, but you don't want to mess up so bad, right? And it goes back into one of the negatives that I'm seeing. You are ruining relationships with your close buddies. Like you're fighting with Canada. You're supposed to be hosting the World Cup with Canada next month, next year, 2026, and already you're ruining your friendships with Canada. You're putting so much tariffs on other countries. So it's almost like the next president is gonna have to clean up a lot. Although they are doing well, but they are messing up on relationships that the next president is gonna have to clean up. I think the United States our relationship with Canada is already messed up with Justin Trudeau. All right. Um. So that aspect, I think we can find better advisors. I think Trump really needs better advisors around him. I think the Republican Party, they need to also man up. Um, they are letting the guy do whatever he wants to do. They might run the party into the ground. Democrats are just watching. I think as they're also watching, I would advise them, to start finding their candidate. I don't think Kamala is coming back, but now they should be cheering up for the next person that's gonna come. The Democrats are silent, but I think if they play their cards right, they can really win the next election. Because, like I said, the white voters are shocked. They voted for Trump, but I think when you're seeing people lose their federal jobs, of course, he's losing some voters that the Democrats can scoop. So overall, some decisions have been positive: immigration, Department of Government Efficiency, housing, bringing jobs back to America, restoring respect. But there is a lot more to be worked on these 4 years. Um, I want to see. I'm, I'm indifferent. I'm indifferent. I'll be back here to discuss with you guys. over the course of the next 4 years, how we are good moving as America. But right now, I think we might be on the right track. America is gaining its respect, but we still got work to do. We still got work to do. So the overall, sorry, so the overall presidential review right now, I think is leaning towards positivity. I on the terms of doing the things that he said he was going to do when he came into office. I think they are working towards making sure that the American taxpayer dollar is being used right. That itself is a positive. Immigration is being solved. That's a positive. So overall, these are big issues, and he's taking charge of it. But on the international relationships, I think we can work on that. So for now, I think I'm gonna end this on a note that Trump needs better advisors around him to make overall great decisions. But so far, it's been positive, and I'll be back to discuss this with you guys more. Um, that's all I have for today. Love you guys, man. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.